Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. So, lots of stuff going on. We've had a lot of stuff going on personally. We've literally been shoveling the SH bleep T. Digging ditches. We dug about 100-foot of ditch for a septic issue going on. And I think it really says a lot about everything going on in the world right now. We really got to clean the crap out of this global system.
Yes, we have to readjust, realign, clean things up.
We sure do. I mean, it's a mess. It's a literal mess. Now, I just wanted to mention this before I forget, because sometimes I forget to mention things, unfortunately, and don't remember for half a dozen more, or sometimes more than that, videos. We were talking about the temporary head of the WEF, or at least interim at this point in time. As you might note, he's got something going on with the left eyeball there. And we understand there's this black eye club, which is a very real thing. What Cindy was getting from the guides is there's literally a parasite that they put into the eye, and it's a willing thing that the person undergoes. They do it willingly as part of the club, again, part of their price for fame and fortune, etc., belonging in that club. So it's literally a parasite that goes into the eye.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty creepy, the information behind it, because we know in the real world, involuntarily, we do take in a lot of parasites, and then we eat food that's going to actually feed them. So it's a problem. It's really a big problem. And with this situation here, what I was told is this is a voluntary thing, and they understand what their vessel is being used for. Now, parasites are notorious for controlling the brain, controlling behavior, controlling especially what you eat, and even attitudes, the way you behave. They can kind of get a hold of things. So there's more to this that's going to be coming out. But this was the preliminary information that I thought was kind of disturbing. But this is also nothing new, so we can't look at it as, ooh, shock and awe, because this has been going on for ages.
Yeah, this is a Kali Yuga thing, and the Dark Age, where these people are controlled by these literal demonic entities that are, again, not human. We are all looking and feeling, as so many of us are, that there's going to be some major earthquake activities, as it's multiple things going on. In some ways, the earth, and this is something we have gotten from the guides, the earth is going to cleanse itself of the parasites. And that may look like big quakes, floods, tsunamis, etc., etc., earth changes. And we understand at the same time that there's been a lot of technology involved in the earth changes. This is, again, where it gets very hard to, sort one item from another, as you do have different things going on contributing to the earth changes. This was a 6.2 in Turkey that literally shook Istanbul. And you can see here, this news anchor is on and just grabbing onto things because, yeah, things are getting shaky. Istanbul's a big, beautiful city. Again, it's at the crossroads of Europe and Asia in so many ways. And, Turkey itself is kind of a bridge between some of the different apparent factions in the world. So, yeah, big quake over here. Was that something that was foretelling something larger? Oh, yeah. I think, again, what we might see is, as you see everybody reacting in an office, I think we might see a quake that literally might shake the entire world, a quake that would, have ramifications everywhere, all over, the quote-unquote globe, yes. And no, we don't believe the earth is flat. It is much bigger than they say. But here you go, 6.2. It wasn't centered directly on Istanbul, as you could see. It's over here in the Sea of Marmara. And there have been already 4 aftershocks from this 5.0, 5.0, and then 4.5 and 4.0. So we'll keep our eye out. If this moves, well, it could head over towards Greece. We could head the other way. Some people have said that there will be a major earthquake somewhere in the Middle East, perhaps centered around Jerusalem or Damascus. That would be more than symbolic, and I would not be surprised in the least. Then we got this. This is into thin air saying the world is controlled by demons. The Pope looks like he's literally having a satanic ritual. Yes, well, in the Kali Yuga, that which is given to us as light truly is the pinnacle of darkness on the planet in more than one way.
Well, I mean, it is. And the Vatican is very meticulous about how they follow astrology and how they follow the rituals and how they control the world, basically. And this is just one little fraction of it. They definitely do not advertise a lot about how they do things. But to have him buried on Saturn Day, is very, very significant to them. It's something. It's the closing of an age. It's the closing of a cycle. It has a lot to do with karma. I'm looking at this and looking into the information, and yes, it is the close of an age. It does have to do with karma. This is our time to step up, and as far as creating goes and manifesting, now that we have the knowledge that we are all co-creators and we know what we don't want, we can come together and we can work more on what we do want. What kind of a world do we want to live in? Because it's coming that time. We're learning how powerful we are when it comes to manifesting, and we can use it, but it is up to us, each of our individual. We have to take responsibility for our own lives and our own healing and our own trauma, and we need to resolve that. And the more we resolve that, the bigger our world gets.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of channels out there right now channeling like Cindy channels. And I was kind of like blown away by a couple of the channelings recently that have gone to places where you got to be careful going and stating certain truths that very much are true, but you still have to be very careful stating them. And some of those channels I know a lot of you guys follow. And the Truth Shall Set You Free channel, GFL Station. There's a few other ones out there. All the information coming through is pretty much very, very similar. This is a period of momentous change. And again, in so many ways you could say the battle is already won, but when it comes to manifesting in the 3D, things move like molasses here compared to other densities. So yeah, there's still a ways to go. So we have to be we have to be, I don't want to say realistic and blow hopes that, things could happen quicker and we could get rid of the parasites faster, because it is all about getting rid of the parasites and calling them out for what they are. When I see these masks and stuff like this, in the past, like with the plague doctors and the masks and all that gear the plague doctors wore, part of what they were doing was that some of the beings that were coming and checking on things and openly walking among us were not Homo sapiens. They were not humans. And yet you wouldn't know it because they had a humanoid shape. But again, they kept their faces covered because these beings, in the case of the plague doctors, were literally, they were bird humanoid beings, avian humanoid beings, carrion type of beings that were here checking out different things on humans, levels of toxicity, etc., genetic experimentations, and all the like. This has always been a, in so many ways, obviously a feeding ground for these beings. This is a farm in a way. This is, again, it's a cattle pen, or maybe a sheep pen would be a little bit slightly more accurate in so many ways, the sheeple pen. And, they've done experiments on us all the time, and they always are psychological experiments, as well as physical and other things. So, what's really going on here is that the system's being exposed for what it is. By the way, it appears the WEF is now investigating Klaus over in-room massages and other allegations. Mr. Eat the Bugs and his wife apparently were using funds, according to these allegations, for themselves, that should have been going to other things. His wife, Hilde, a former Forum employee, scheduled token Forum-funded meetings in order to justify luxury holiday travel at the organization's expense. Klaus treated female employees in maybe improper ways, etc., and allegations about the use of the family villa. These people, again, you're going to, as many of us have always known, they are the most corrupt beings on the planet. They are the epitome of diabolical self-centeredness. And, arrogant beyond belief, and also the last people that we would want really kind of running anything. And so, this movement is going to be an absolute shambles, and it already is falling apart. Every aspect of this is going to be falling apart. They will not be able to maintain control. And a lot of people have bought into them in one way, shape, or form. And when I say that, I don't mean necessarily just the WEF. I mean all the others that are out there, as well, as we see, who announces major overhaul, layoffs amid U.S. funding, because, again, we've funded so much of this global control program. We've even made videos talking about this. There used to be two snakes intertwined, which represented the Ida and the Pingala, which are the yin and the yang energies that go on either side of the spinal column, which is represented by the staff, and also that is in effect the Taiji pole, and also the Sushumna, which is the column in which the unified balanced energies of the yin and the yang go ahead and flow upwards, initiating the kundalini and turning on your pineal gland. So then we become very, very perceptive beings that can see through BS. The reason why they only have one here is because they want to keep us, away from our full capabilities. Because as soon as we could see what's really going on in the world, they're over, they're done, it's bye-bye. So again, utilizing things like fluoride in the water and all the frequencies and everything else that lowers your frequency. Again, even when it comes to big FARMA, that might be something that you might go to a DR and get. It's chances are it's going to block your pineal gland in some way, shape, or form. It's going to cause imbalances in your body and in your mind and consciousness. Again, this is what the system does. So, as she says here, good, now defund the UN. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all these organizations got to go. I thought this was curious. Tesla's 1898 prediction of warship doom is becoming reality. Apparently, Tesla actually had made a statement that there would be remote-controlled, obvious drones that we have now that seem to be dominating warfare in many ways. And he's talking about marine drones that could go and take out massive ships where you really wouldn't have to do anything, even with a hands-on approach. You could do this all remotely, and it would completely change warfare, even to the point of warfare being kind of futile in so many ways. Well, again, as soon as we realize we don't have a need to be attacking each other, the only reason why humanity is fighting itself all the time is simply because it allows the control system to stay put and hide in the shadows.
Yeah, I think the idea here is a bit of a leveling of the playing field where everyone has access to the same thing. So that's making one person no longer king of the hill because everybody has their own hill. And when everyone has their own hill and their own club, and there's an equalizer, everyone has their own equalizer. Well, it kind of pops the bubble. It takes the air out of the balloon, and then everyone is sort of sitting there looking at each other, thinking, well, if I pick on you, you have the exact same things that you could pick on me back with, and I don't know if I should pick on you. So I don't know, the concept is interesting. I think a level playing field is definitely the way to go, but I don't like any fighting.
So, again, AI, and this is such a big field. Does it have to be evil? Well, anything that's in the system's control has the potential for being evil. And ultimately, it is AI that controls the system. And that's the big realization. This is Eric Schmidt, and he's saying that AI system is about to decouple from us. A lot of talk of decoupling of the crypto world from the stocks and the regular finances, and doing its own thing, where crypto doesn't really just follow the markets anymore. But see, it's all been planned from the get-go. Again, the tools that they use to control us in some ways can be turned on them. But AI certainly turned on the Draco. The Draco, again, created the AI, which truly is the ultimate Satan up at the top of that pyramid. Ultimate AI, all-seeing eye. And yet, what we have ourselves in the natural world is also a holographic simulation, but not with the intent of trapping souls. No, the natural order, the natural world, very different. This is for consciousness to come and to explore and to create. And ultimately, we are all creators in training. And it's an important lesson in controlling our thoughts and controlling our fears and controlling our greed and controlling hatred and all the negative emotions as we go through the roller coaster rides of life. And here he's saying in 6 years, or so, it will decouple from us, be smarter than us, and, you could end up running the show. Well, again, the dark control system ultimately has been run by AI the whole time. And yet that AI, it's not like us. We are source. Source is in us. So the source of everything lies within us. And, AI needs somebody to program it. And that's really the bottom line. It's only as good as what information is put in it. So in this age, in this AI that we've been given by the corrupt system, it's very flawed because, again, it's programmed with limiting thoughts for humanity, with again, so much disinformation, that they try to, again, hide as real information or make it look like it's the real info, but it is the disinfo. The whole system is a disinformation system. So, again, it doesn't have to be utilized in a negative way. But that's all we've ever seen from the system because, again, they're self-centered and they're all about total control.
I think in intention and knowing where you stand and being really grounded and utilizing these things to enhance what you have to offer other people, I don't see anything wrong with that. But I mean, I kind of think way back when, all of us, remember we used to memorize all of our friends' phone numbers, and things of that nature, and pretty soon that got automated. Well, what happens to that little part of your brain that stops being used? I mean, is that, yeah, it atrophies. So, I mean, in a way, I can see absolutely using it to help enhance, but don't allow the atrophy. Don't allow yourself to stop thinking and stop using your brain for human purposes. It is so easy to go and ask a question online, and most of us done. Anybody who's listening has access to the internet have gone and we've asked questions online. But how important is it to really find out for yourself? That's key. That's critical. You've got to learn for yourself and know that thing to be true for you.
It's interesting that the further back in time we go, the more we see obvious advanced forms of technology being utilized in a very natural way. So why did they build with stone? Well, because stone's going to help us ground, and it's going to keep us rooted, and it's going to keep us in contact with the elemental world, and ultimately, the divine feminine itself.
A while ago, I did channel from Metatron, and he was speaking about the intelligence of Earth and how it's so many more times powerful than the AI that we're utilizing now. So I think we kind of have a choice that we can make right now. We're understanding how intelligence can help us, but which direction are we going to go? When we use the earth to ground and to root, we're actually making our own cells to help heal ourselves. When we use light, when we use our breath, we are creating new. We are creating the ability to heal ourselves from new. And I think as long as we stay focused on that and don't let ourselves get too caught up in things that are fake, that are artificial, I think a lot of us can utilize this for good. It's up to us. It's up to you. It's whatever is in your heart and whatever you think is right. It's just, I think a lot of times we go down a path thinking it's okay, and then it turns out, oops, it's not okay. But we've been there now. We understand now. So we have a better idea of which direction we got to go in, or we want to go in, and it's up to us to follow our heart now.
Absolutely. As this puppy is just, he's awestruck by the rain. He's never seen the rain before. So what is this that's coming after me? What is this that's attacking me? Or am I supposed to catch it and eat it? Again, nature is full of surprises, and Mother Nature may have some surprises in mind for us and the system. And, again, it's always good to be as prepared as possible. Keep putting out your positive vibes, intentions, and frequencies, and, surround yourself in a bubble of impenetrable light. And again, we can ride through all these storms together.
Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.